This European cricket event is proudly brought to you by HCL Software, Rado and 1xBet. Good morning to you, wherever you're watching from around the world. Welcome to another huge day in European cricket, and it is huge. Hopefully you're double screening because Romania already underway in the European Cricket Series T10. And right here in Belgium, it's almost time for the final of this Mdina Cup. We're minutes away from the first ball. Vinny Sander here, Mr. Maximo. Great to be with you. Of course, yesterday was day 2 of the men's portion of this Mdina Cup, and we started with match number 4 with Belgium batting first, putting on a big score, 177 off their 20 overs against Malta. Having said that, Belgium kind of dragged a little bit in the middle. No one made a half century, but a good 40s there from Sherry Butt, Harrington and Sabah Zakil got them up to that score. Malta kind of folded in the second inning. Zaki Shah, his entry to the series was a successful one. He finished with very impressive figures of 4 for 27. Match 5 saw Malta play their last game of the tournament against Portugal. Once again, Malta just failed to get too much going with the bat. Prasas 31 was the equal top score for any Malta batter during this series as they made their way to 133. Shantu with 3 wickets was a very consistent performer for Portugal through the group stage, and Stoneman with a couple of wickets there as well. Gomes with his second 50 against Malta for the series, 65 not out, led Portugal to a comfortable chase, chasing down the target of 134 with exactly 5 overs to spare. Chad Potkita helping out with 34 runs of his own in the chase. And Noritam, he had a slight return to form with his 25. Then the showdown in match number 6 last night. Belgium electing to bat first versus Portugal. Just struggled, losing wickets at reasonably regular intervals as they were restricted to 102 all outs of their first innings, not quite batting out the 20 overs. Shantu was unbelievable again, 2 for 8 off 3 overs. Stoneman got some key wickets as well. 2 for him, 2 for Hashu as well. Portugal in response, no real dramas, and Noritam really turned it on this time. Seems to be growing with every innings, 59 in that comfortable chase with about 9 overs to spare. So this is how the standings finished, of course, with the top 2 teams here to contest the final. Looking forward to seeing how this one goes down because Portugal certainly have the wood on Belgium based on what we've seen so far. We know it can all change. And here's the big news. Teams are unchanged from last night. Not a single change for either side. A little bit surprised, actually, a couple of players that miss out, and particularly the 2 12th men, Sherman Vaz for Portugal and Ravi Taplial, 2 pretty handy spin options, but I suppose they just couldn't find room for them in there. That also means that Hardy stays out of the side. Martins has been playing just as a bat. He's listed at number 4. For Belgium, Manib retains his place at the top despite a duck on his return to the team last night. And they're once again led by Ali Raza with no Shiraz Sheikh in the lineup. Portugal, pretty much 70-30 according to the supercomputer. It's probably fair enough when you consider that they have won both games against Belgium this week. Portugal 43 in the rankings, Belgium 45. But hasn't necessarily looked like these 2 teams are so close together if you just go on the 2 times they've met in matches 3 and 6. So I think that's all done, though. That's history. And it would be very Belgium to turn around and then steal the series here after going down to Portugal. And the format of the series, of course, means that if you win this game, you win the Mdina Cup in 2025. Well, welcome to all our viewers, of course. Great to have you with us wherever you're watching from around the world. I've been tuning into Romania as well this morning, and yeah, pretty happy that we're up and running there. It's been a tough old time, hasn't it? With a 6-day delay to the start. But we're going to make a start here, and it's going to be Shantu into Manib. Shapes that one away. It's a good ball. Happy to see that if you're a An opening bowler. Muneeb just kind of got caught playing around his front pad yesterday in this same contest. And he went without scoring. But that will concern him, the ball swinging away, because the one that holds its line could challenge the inside edge. It's a good seed. I mean, Shantu has 9 wickets in the series, the leading wicket taker. Not far behind him, actually, is Zaki Shah, who only played 2 games, took 2 forfers. The forfer in the losing cause for Belgium last night. Hello to Holly, nice to see you watching from New Zealand. Hi to Gurunam Singh as well, and Scotty from the ECN Supporters Club Australia. Well, that one goes up. Does it have the legs? It does. And so Muneeb with an early strike. Maximal! Just seemed to be slightly off the outside half of the bat, and I was concerned about how far it would fly. It was a bit later on it, if anything, but short, straight boundaries. Muneeb with the early blow. Shantu with the comeback. Pretty good comeback at that. Yeah, Luke Belgium obviously a pretty interested spectator as well, seeing if his Belgian team can make amends and take this Mdina Cup, keep it in Belgium. That's the one that holds its line. That's the one that kind of got Muneeb yesterday. Trapped him on the crease and had him LBW. Can Belgium find their mojo with the bat? That's the big question, I think, this morning. That one does hold its line as well. It swings down the leg side. Hello to Omar Farouk as well. Good morning to you. And if you're like me, you might be double screening. That's what I'm doing as well. Muneeb navigates the first over, and Belgium 7 without loss. Yeah, it's always a tough game, I suppose, for both of these teams against each other. It's like clash in styles, how they go about it. Hassan looks like he's going to get the ball. So, yeah, a bit of a change in tactic here. And I think this is all to do with the fact that Muneeb is there. And Hassan was used in match 3. It might have been actually Sherman Vaz that was used, but same kind of bowler, the off spinner, as a specific kind of matchup for Muneeb, the left-handed Belgian opener. They didn't do it when Muneeb was already out in the last over last night. They went straight to Henry. So interesting tactics. So here's Ali Raza on strike. He's back at the top of the order. And Ali Raza had a little bit of an out of sorts tournament. And be hoping to make amends. Love a big knock in the final. Here's the matchup they wanted. Portugal with Muneeb, left-hander on strike. They feel that they can trouble him, spinning the ball away. Manib's a very good player. We certainly haven't seen the best of him so far in this series. Slips in place. Takes on the sweep straight away and gets it. Good batting. Manib gets 4 runs. No real sign of turn there from Hassam, who can spin the ball. We saw that during yesterday's play. Takes on the fielder and wins. Yeah, maybe some of that kind of Belgian ball bravery has been missing at times. It's a long way across. I think it's going on with the angle. Very hard to tell from behind, but seem to be sliding down. Similar kind of question, similar kind of ball, similar response. Manib navigates it without too many dramas. Yeah, T20, slightly different pace. But I think it's been a fantastic exhibition of European cricket. And obviously some of the challenges as well. Raza, well, he likes this matchup. He's going to get 4 to mid-wicket here. And loads up. Now that'll be the end of the overs. So Hassam doesn't quite go to plan for Portugal. And it's 17 without loss after 2. Have a quick look at how things panned out. Maybe in the qualifying stage. With Malta, we knew a long way before the end of the day that they weren't going to be a part of the final. But still, even if they won that last game, they wouldn't have made the final, but it would have made some kind of impression on their ranking. So there's a lot of incentives tied to the ranking. Chances back again. Little scratch on this. Well, it won't be a goal. I think it's just missed the post, but it will be. It will be 4 runs. We might have to go to the VAR anyway, just to be safe. Thank you, Alex, pushing the buttons today. I had this going just around that post. We have to slow it down about now. Oh, yeah. Nah, I was right. It's just missed. No early goal for Belgium, but they have made a good start. Much better start with the bat compared to yesterday. This one just a little wide of the mark. Looks like first game done and dusted there in Romania. Which means they'll probably have all eyes on us before too long. It's just heading down for me. It'll be an interesting replay from front on. But this one doesn't really seem to shape. Stump to stump. Check it out. It's a good shout. I mean, don't get me wrong. I just think there is that little bit of doubt that it might be missing leg stump. Next one does move away a little bit, and Manib misses out. Hello to Steve. Nice to see you. Hopefully, well, hello Paul Kempin as well. Sim's in the chat. Portugal trying to make it 5 in a row. As you say there, Luke. Takes this on. Thick edge and held. They have caught so well in this series. Team Portugal, Manib with the false shot. Thick outside edge, flies away. And once again, excellent captaincy from Carlos Nunes. He had the fielder back for that eventuality. Manoop going hard at the ball, and Shantu with another wicket in the series. Strong left-handed opener from Belgium is going to have to go. Excellent catch by Henry as well, coming in. Gets two hands to it, makes the most of the opportunity. Almost Harrison Ward style. Was losing the draws in the process, but Manib out for 15. Belgium lose their first wicket of this final. It's 22 for 1. Just an excellent bit of bowling. Leaves him a bit, and that's why it takes the outside edge, and a brilliant catch. That's the standard. That's why Portugal have been the dominant side here. They've been complete, haven't they? Still, Burhan Niaz comes out at 3. He's looked good at times, but just probably hasn't had the kind of runs he would have liked in the series. I'm disappointed about that. It's not easy facing Shantu. He's been a weapon. Good contest once again coming up. Two right-handers now at the crease for Belgium. Hits this one pretty well first up, but won't get a run. Niaz, as mentioned many times in the series, this guy has played a lot of cricket around the place now, but he is born in Antwerp. He's a European-born cricketer. Born in Antwerp, Belgium, not too far of a drive away from this ground here in Hofstade. That'll be the end of the third over, and the score is 22 for 1. A successful over to Shantu now. Has not gone wicketless once in the series. In fact, 10 wickets. Couple of overs to bowl potentially in this game as well. Interesting, they're switching to Nippo, so they're switching the finger spinner to a spinner that will go away from the right-hander. Now there's two right-handers there, so very shrewd captaincy once again from Nunes, who leads Twickenham first 11 in the UK competition as well. Nippo, not pretty well yesterday actually. Only played 2 of the 4 games. That's a nice shot, though, from Ali Raza. Eases it off the back foot for 4. Nippo only fractionally short, maybe a bit of width. Very classy stuff, and the placement was there. Got past Nateem Hassam. Raced away. What's this? The field has gotten quicker and quicker, I think. Slight adjustment. Only slight. Yeah, weather today here, 22 degrees, the expected maximum 17 at the moment. So a little bit milder, but still pretty good for cricket. Dragged down slightly by Nippo. As Ali Raza will pull the leg, just have to settle for the single. Yeah, Rob mentioning he's just come in after watching a bit of a thriller with Rico and Phil. Yeah, 6 runs, the margin. Turns a bit too much. At least there is some turn there for Nippo. Also gets good bounce. He's wiry, isn't he, as a customer. No foot movement there from Niaz. Found that hard to reach. You see Nippo, he's an animated character. Yeah, so two of the new teams to ECS doing battle in the first game in Romania. Oh, he loses his line there. Niaz puts him away. That's a big one. Well, I don't know if that's a goal, but it's pretty close. It's hit the dugout. That's an impressive one, actually. Maximo for Burhan Niaz. Is Nippo kind of crossing the line between excited and overexcited out there? Watch this one. Bang. Right in the back of the dugout. Maybe I should have counted that a goal, but we didn't agree prior to the game. So I'm going to say that's no goal, even though it's pretty impressive. Comeback ball. The optimistic appeal from Nippo. And the bat before wickets turned down. It's the end of the fourth over. It's 34 for 1. Belgium expect to score 154. Remember when these two teams met on day one, Belgium scored 162. They bowled out in the 20th over. Portugal were able to get the win with 8 balls to spare. And then last night in match 6, Belgium bowled out once again, this time in the 19th over for only 102. Portugal chased it in 11.2 overs. So Portugal have 20 wickets so far in the 2 games against Belgium. It's something Belgium be conscious of, but also need to be going at the tempo. Hit on the up. It's a pretty good shot from Raza. He'll get 4. Takes his chances a little bit, hitting the ball in the air. Rolls the dice. What about Raza? He's a good player all around the wicket. He's not a kind of cross-bat hoiker. He's a guy that can play those orthodox drive shots. Raza still hasn't fired in the series. Is this the time? Well, it's short, and he's going to hook that away, and it's going to go all the way. Ali Raza taking on Shantu and winning at the moment. And this is the one for the over, I'm pretty sure. Well struck. Maximo to follow up after the 4. 4 and 6. 3 boundaries in the last 4 balls. Now he's turning it on. Well, this is more like the Ali Raza we know. The confidence is back. The kind of little bit of swagger's back from the Belgian skipper as well. Shantu just kind of missing his spots as well. I think this is just a fraction too short. I think you'd much rather try and get Ali Raza on the front foot, but I suppose he's a bit conscious. He's got driven over cover for 4. I think you'd much rather that than let him play from the crease. Let him slash away, square of the wicket. I know they're slightly longer boundaries, but still not the longest boundaries in world cricket. All right, it's a bit of a loose one, but he's going to get away with it. And it will bounce away through the goal area. I don't think it will be a goal, but it will be another 4 runs. This is where kind of you make your own luck, as they say in the classics. That's a genuine false shot. He's just probably just getting carried away with his own success there, Ali Raza. 50's up for Belgium. Shantu changes angle. Just didn't have too much success, so that one again, he gets a similar miss leg side attempt from Raza. Shantu is, do you pull him off after this? I'd say you probably do, given how this over has gone. Only because Stoneman bowled really well in this spot when he bowled his 7th over yesterday. Fraction short, Raza unloads, finds the gap, finds the boundary. Spring in the step of the Belgians after that over, which ends up going for 22. So a magical over as Ali Raza lights it up. And after 5, it's 56 for 1. Plenty happening around the ECN universe, of course, this morning. Romania is up and running. And although this is our final game in Belgium and the only game today here, Romania will continue through the day. And then, pretty unprecedented, we'll have a 3-day double trouble European cricket series because Romania rescheduled to finish on Wednesday. Hornchurch starts tomorrow. Nippo's back. Just want to nip this in the bud, don't they, Portugal? The thing, Ali, he's an attacking player. He's going to play his shot, give you the odd chance. I think it's good they get him back on strike. Now, I think he's also pretty conscious. The power play is coming to an end. And just 4 balls. I think he wants a piece of Nippo here. He's feeling like he's kind of Super Mario flashing at the moment. Feels invincible, Ali Raza. He wants it. Slides into the pad. Good contest this. Nippo sliding him through at pace. Ali wants him, and Ali gets him. Puts him over the leg side. Maximo. That one goes to the other dugout. That ball retrievers looking pretty cool in the green vest down there, but Raza feeling cool at the moment. Went to the sky, and that ball flies. You can see his teammates like it in the background. Wants it again. Ali Raza unloads another 6 runs. Maximo back to back. 44 off 14. An innings of substance. Oh, Jesus, that got into the goals as well. Again, we'll have to go to the VAR. Thanks, Alex. Let's have a look. Did it make it all the way? Took my eyes off the plate. Oh, where does he get it from? Back of the net? Yeah, I'm going to call that a goal. So Raza's done everything now. This is Belgian ball and it's back. And the longer he can get away with that, with what he's doing here, if he can get kind of past the 10, 11, 12 over mark, then you've got someone like a Zakil that could come out. You've got Sherry Button come out. Completely different feel to the innings, not worrying about wickets. It actually shows as well that he's in a good headspace. Happy to block the last one out. And Nippo goes for 13 in that over, including back-to-back sixes. At the end of the power play, Belgium suddenly ahead in the game at 69 for 1. Sure, still plenty of twists and turns to come in this contest. Yeah, fascinating contest, isn't it? I mean, first 3 go for 22. The next 3 go for 47. And as I thought, they are going to go to Faf Stoneman here in over number 7. He really got the ball to dance yesterday. Had that outswinger going. He's got some very good players out in the series. Faf, Portuguese-based, but South African background and currently playing his club cricket in the Netherlands during the European summer. Bowling to Burhan Niaz. There's that swing. So at least that's there. Well taken by Nunez, who's been a gun behind the stumps as well. So that's a good sign for Faf that the ball is going. He just has to find that direction now. Oh, excellent ball. Excellent ball. And that's the adjustment we were talking about. We saw him take a wicket like this yesterday with Nunez, quick hands behind the stumps, executing a stumping. I don't think the toe ever really leaves the earth here. Almost did. Always felt a bit more comfortable keeping up to outswing bowlers as well. Typically missing the outside edge, get a better look at the ball compared to in-swing bowlers that may have a few more balls go between the bat and the body. It's a bit messy. Short this time. Excellent fielding there. And the team, clean hands, building that pressure. We'll say, Belgium, particularly that first contest between these two teams on Thursday night, they're actually ahead for a fair bit of the second innings. Percentage-wise, Belgium ahead right now, but a very close game. Excellent ball again. This is actually going to come off the thumb of Nunes. It's the extra bounce that did him there. Maybe not a bad thing for Portugal because it exposes Ali Raza to the new bowler. Watch that one take off. And he's not quite able to handle it. That's the kind of the drawback, I suppose, keeping up to the stumps. The odd one you won't take, I think. If it does something unexpected, reaction time is very, 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 very small. Played nicely by Raza, but he'll only get a single here. Again, consistently getting that swing. It's almost like he's brought his own ball, Stoneman. Morning, Johnny Heeson. Oh, I think I might have said hello in the other stream. Double screening. I'm double screening as well. Just a wide. That's one of those ones that probably is okay under the interpretation in T10 cricket now because I think it takes the line for me. Well, maybe not. Certainly not a bad spot to miss for Stoneman. That's the line. That's the line. Drawing the batter forward. We saw a catch go in that direction yesterday. It was Henry that took it. He keeps bowling this well. Stoneman might want to keep the moustache and look after it for the summer. Goes straight this time. That's a short boundary. And Raza will bring up his 50 with a Maximo. 17 ball half ton for Ali, striking at 300 as he hopes to change Belgium's fortunes against the Portuguese. It's also the end of the 7th over. It's 80 for 1. Brave shot that one, but he can see the shape and he can play for it a little bit, Ali Raza. Everybody knew straight away that was out of the ground. Raza acknowledges his team, bringing up his 50. First time that anyone in the top 6 for Belgium has made a 50. Zakil scored one from number 7. Henry gets bowled then. Obviously, it's a little bit hard to find, so replacement balls come on. Do try a bit harder in T20 cricket to keep the same ball. It's not always possible. So 80 already. It's a completely different game if Belgium are batting with wickets in hand and not concerned from an earlier point in the innings about getting bowled out. They have had these rebuilding kind of times, some of their matches, even yesterday against Malta, where they really didn't take too many risks. But I think now, one down, okay, another few overs. They'd like to ride this out, and then they can really attack a high score there. Already playing from a position of kind of safety. They're not going to get rolled over. Niaz guides this away. Bit of work for the Chad. First bit of action for him today. Potkita quickly has become a cult figure on the network. Mostly on account of being a huge person. I mean that in the nicest possible way. That is, Grand Maria's tuning in as well. Hello to you, Maria. Hopefully you're well. Good luck to the Chad. You're in the final, his first ECN series. Up in the block hole, Raza. Looking very dangerous. Batting very dangerously. Yes. Squirts one. Brings Raza back on strike. Raza takes it on leg side, and he's going to get it again. I think it has gone all the way as well. Ali Raza, another Maximo. It's too short this time from Henry. Raza seeing like a football at the moment. Just carries a rope. She's up this time. Respected hit back to Juan Henry. Raza's kind of guy, kind of missing link in a few ways of this batting lineup. We know how dangerous it can be. We've seen it many times at the Carter Oval on ECN. He takes this off the stumps. He glances it away. Well knocked down there. Shantu hurls himself to make the stop, saves the boundary. It will be the end of the over. Raza retains the strike. And it's 90 for 1 after 8. What a good game this is. Stoneman's going to get another one. But have a look at that run rate. Bit of a crossroads, really, when Muneeb went in the third over, but Ali Raza then attacked Shantu and took him magical. Something that hasn't happened so far in this tournament. All about 1 wicket. You hear it there in the effects microphone. Portugal, well, stick to their guns here. Raza takes this off a length and puts it up and over the leg side. And that will go for 4. Open spaces out in that part of the outfield. Out of the power play, don't forget now. So up to 5 outfielders in play, but nobody out there at deep mid wicket. Probably feeling it's a risky shot hit across the line, given what Faf's doing with the ball. Starting it outside, keeping it away from that leg side, even keeping it away from the stumps most of the time. Once again, flicks away. Umpire has to duck. Just a single. Here's the question, though, for Belgium. How much is enough? It's probably observing they seemed a bit directionless at times in their batting when they were batting first yesterday, even against Malta. Obviously, they had their plans. They felt they had a plan to get to a defendable score. Managed that in the end. It's well bowled. An umpire probably had to have a think about it, but thought it was okay. Kind of more in than out. Maybe even completely inside the line when you look at the replay. Oh, interesting. That's the one that goes straight on. Don't know if it was a cross seamer, but this one definitely doesn't swing away like the others. Pick up the grip. Not really. Maybe just a bit of natural variation there from Faf. Oh, it's wild. Jeez. Nunez has done so well to get a glove to that. That would have been a minimo, probably 99 times out of 100. Gets a little bit of leather on it. It's just a rare wild one from Stoneman. That's outstanding wicket keeping to save 3 runs. I mean, often we talk about boundary saves. You know, good save, save one or save a couple. That's a genuine 3-run save from the Portuguese skipper, the number 7. Now, Faf gets lifted up towards the leg side. He's going to be gone. Ali Raza goes for 64. Well, Stoneman does get it right. And a big moment in this game. Going to be Nateem Hassam that takes the catch. Raza trying out that leg side boundary again. This time the fielder was perfectly positioned. It's the longest boundary on the ground as well. And the fielder takes the catch again. Opportunity given, opportunity taken. With room to spare. Disappointment. You can see Raza, well, he's filthy with himself. Knew he was on for 3 figures there, but he'll fall for 64. Belgium 97 for 2, but that's the way they play. That's the Belgium we're used to. Wasn't going to take a backward step. Wasn't going to take the conservative option, and if he gets that slightly better, it is 6, but fractionally away from the middle of the bat, and hop, skip, and a jump from Ali Raza, showing his displeasure. But he does have his team in a pretty good position at the moment, on for 185. All things being equal. Sherry Butt comes out at number 4. Stoneman with the big wicket of Ali Raza after a ball that, to be honest, probably should have gone to the boundary. In fact, I'll go one further. Ali Raza wouldn't have even been on strike if Carlos Nunez hadn't have got a little bit of a glove on that one down the leg side. So, in a funny way, credit to the keeper there as well. Sherry off the mark with a single. End of the over, a successful one for Francois Stoneman. And after 9 overs, Belgium 98 for 2. Plenty of twists and turns left in this one. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, Luke saying pity Raza couldn't go on. Very well batted, though. Excellent effort. Yeah, it was. And let's not forget, he had some slices of luck earlier in the innings as well. A couple of false shots flew away to the boundary. Sherry, a couple of balls in the middle to get him going. Portugal, they'll be hoping that's the window into something a little bit more. Niaz plays it away. He's used up some balls here, Niaz. Has hit 1-6 in the 16 balls faced. Hasn't hit a 4 yet. I mean, this is the thing. You take time to get set, and that's fine. But you do then want to turn it into something substantial. We've seen some players catch up, and we saw that with Harrington, for example, earlier in the week. Also, he's put some pressure on himself to do so. Let's try and pull this one away. Doesn't really get the timing. Has to settle for one. That's Hashu out there. Hey, enjoying the multi-screening. Got to say, I'm enjoying it. I'm watching two games at once. I just got to remember which one I'm calling, though. Oh, Sherry Butt creams that, but straight to the field. That's Gomes out there. Yes, he's a lovely technique. In fact, that's going to go all the way, and it will be a goal. Brian Nias. That's a shot that deserved more than just the 4 runs, really. It was pretty as a picture, and it raced along the boundary. Fielder slash keeper couldn't make the stop. Check this one out. Right in the corner. Hits the rope. In it goes. And that's going to be smashed away as well, but Gomes is going to clean that up. So I think that's 2 goals to Belgium as well. Has over 100 runs in the first half of this deciding match. It's 106 for 2 after 10 overs. It's me, Vinny Sandu, Mr. Matsimo. Pleasure to be with you here on a Sunday morning, bringing you the Mdina final from Belgium. Of course, European Cricket Series in Romania is underway as well. It's the first half of match 2, 5 matches there. And tomorrow is a funny one to conceptualize, but you've basically got Romania starting early. So I'll talk in GMT. So Romania starts early at, I'm going to say, I don't want to say it wrong, so let me just look it up. Yeah, Romania starts at 6:15 GMT, 8:15 Central Europe, 11:45 India. And then kind of 2.25 hours later, you have England starting. Or even more than that, actually. Sorry, no, 2 hours and 15. So you've got 6:15 GMT, Romania starts. You've got 8:45 GMT, England starts. So you've got 2.5 hours between the start times, but each of those locations are 5 consecutive games. Hopefully that made sense. Yeah, so Romania starting 6:15 a.m. GMT, 8:15 Central Europe, 11:45 India, and you've got England starting at 8:45 GMT, 10:45 Central Europe, and 2:15 in India. 10 matches. I think that's a record for T10s. I know we've done 10 5-over matches before, but this is 10 overs of T10 cricket tomorrow, or 10 matches of T10 cricket, i.e. 20 overs of 20, I'll get it right eventually, 20 hours of live cricket coming to you tomorrow on ECN. Right here, it's the T20 sphere. I know there's a bit of snack chat as well. We're wondering what Nunez was eating earlier in the week. Looks like Gomes is getting stuck into something as well. Sherry Butt, I bet he'd love to play an innings of consequence here for Belgium. I'll also be curious to see if they want to continue with Stoneman in this spot. Do you gamble on a Hashu kind of sooner rather than later? They're going to stick with Faf. Quite to get the consistency of the outswinger that you would have liked in the last over. Maybe a sign the ball's changing. Swing really is a bit of a dark art He does get the ball to go. And that's been what's made him a weapon in this series. His consistency is what's allowed Nunes to keep up to the stumps as well, with not too much difficulty for him. On to Burhan Nia, 16 off 19. Too short swing this time. Niaz pops it out for a single. Sherry Butt went to Stoneman yesterday. A ball that drew him on the front foot. Little feather through to the keeper who was standing up. Took a very sharp catch. Gets the right to reply here. Oh, this one doesn't swing. This is got to be in your head a little bit. This is the guy that got you out yesterday. And to be honest, Sherry Butt didn't seem too pleased with the decision at the time. And this one, you expect it to go out, and it doesn't. It kind of goes straight. Dragged away to the leg side. Sherry will get one. Belgium clinging on to a slight lead on the percentages, but way too early to call this one. I suppose from here, when you look at the batting to come, Mr. Next, Omid Kell. And Kell actually kind of gone off the boil a little bit, even though he's batted for a fair bit of the series. But you got Omid Kell, you've got Saber Zakhil, you've got Harrington actually listed at 7 today. But is there a time that you would kind of like Saber Zakhil to get an opportunity? Maybe that's 5 overs to go. Maybe it's slightly more. But I think now Belgium are, I suppose, playing with the knowledge that a wicket here doesn't completely derail their first innings. 50-50 game here in the Mdina Cup final. Again, another one. It's kind of nips back, if anything. Stoneman seems to have the wood on Sherry Butt at the moment, doesn't he? That'll be the end of the 11th over. It's 109 for 2. More cloud cover today than we used to. Henry gets another one. Oh, well, if you want to be technical, it's drop catch. It belts into his foot. Juan just couldn't get down. Have a look at this one. You ever seen a bowler get yorked? Bush. You know, it's freakish. That almost, can I have it one more time? It almost bounces up and he catches it without even realizing. I've got one more replay here. Imagine if he catches this. Maybe goes up his shirt or something like that. Because it definitely does bounce up. Watch it go up. And it hits his knee and actually hits his wrist. Oh, that would have been a freakish catch. Would have been kind of all-time viral. Could have gone absolutely anywhere off the top of the foot. He's to a 23 off 30 balls faced combined. Sure, we'll get one here. Goes to the preferred side of Shantu. John Henry held his pace pretty well through this series. Goes down the follow through. He's safely home. Portugal been very good at hitting the stumps from the field in this series. So Sherry really sprinted this, but he had it covered. Just check it out. Did you get that? Something down? I think he has the bat down just in time. Good fielding though. Sherry tries to muscle off the back foot. He'll get a single, and that'll take us to the end of the 12th over. Henry with 22 of his 3 bowled so far, and Belgium 113 for 2. Just quietly, Portugal have crept back into the lead. It's been a different kind of a game since the wicket of Ali Raza. Belgian skipper holding out for 64, caught right on the boundary by Nadeem Hassam off Francois Stoneman. You kind of got the Raza and the non-Raza. Raza 64 off 24, striking at 267. The rest of the team have 41 off 48. Striking at 85. Chalk and cheese so far. Stoneman to bowl out. Straight pull this time, hangs up in the air, but it's not going to get all the way to the Chad. Hotkita out there. Fairly straight long on. Hit and run from Niaz, but again, just a single. This is weird to say. Is there a point that you want Zakil out there? And what is that point? Is it 15 overs? Is it just before that? Because if he gets going, it's always a shame when he runs out of time. Lifted up by Sherry Butt, and that will go the distance. Maximal. That's a confidence booster for Sherry. Seems to have struggled a little bit with what Stoneman's delivering, but this one holds its line. Gets a good piece of it. Now, where did this go? It went pretty close to the goals. Yeah, over the top. Stoneman's just lost that movement now. Whatever's happened with the ball. But he isn't getting that predictable, consistent outswing anymore. Remember, one of the factors, a big factor, is the ball in swing bowling. Conditions, of course, as well. But, you know, that ball, every time it gets hit, slightly changes shape. It's a little bit softer. Quite as smooth. And he's trying some other tactics, like banging it in short. But we get one more chance at Sherry Butt. Stoneman will finish 1 for 32. It does have a pretty important one. 7 overs remaining. Belgium 124 for 2. That's very early to call a super over, but this game has been around about the 50-50 all the way along. Do you have the super over sizzle? Of course, there's a fully fledged T20 international. If there's a tie, it goes to a super over. 1 over each. I think the rule is if super over is tied, you do it again. That one's in the air, and it's going to go. Going to fly away, Sherry Butt. Going up a notch here. Henry's on to bowl out, but gets dispatched. Maximo to start the 14th over. Henry with the comeback ball. Yeah, low full toss, but swings it away, but he finds the fielder. Jeremy Martins takes the catch, and Henry with the breakthrough. Sherry will be so disappointed to go in that fashion. Seemed to be heating up. That low full toss, not necessarily an easy one to get up and out of the ground. Jeremy Martins does the rest. Meter inside the long on rope, and that will be the third wicket. 130 for 3. Knew he was in a bit of trouble straight away. Jeremy didn't have to get particularly funky there. Knew he had a bit of room to move. But still, Sherry with a handy 21. He'll be the third to go. 130 for 3. Martin sticks the landing. And this is the opportunity to get Sabah Zakil to the crease. I think that's the exact player I would want out there, given this situation. 6.5 overs left to bat. Steve asking about reverse swing. It's funny, Steve. It's not quite that simple that reverse swing kicks in when the conventional swing's gone. There's this kind of middle period where it's not going to do either, really. You don't really ever see reverse swing in a 20 over game, to be honest, because the ball doesn't get that old. Zakil, confident looking tap down the ground to start off. Reverse swing's more to do with the weight of the ball and the fact that the ball is completely roughed up on both sides. But there's this middle point when it's kind of, it's not new, but it's not old either, where it's really tough to get too much going at all, depending on the ball, of course. Yes, hits this way, test the fielder. He's up to the test. Good bit of work down there from Gomes. Saves a couple of runs. And also with swing, it's not that simple to just... You might be trying to do a certain thing, but it just might not be happening certain games, certain deliveries. That's kind of a good example with Stoneman's 4 overs. Every over, the ball was giving him less. Today, anyway. Well, Henry stuck to his guns with the appeal. No one else in the field was interested. leg by given there. It's Zakil. He's the guy that could elevate this total to scary places for Portuguese fans. He gets one that jumps on him a bit here. Henry puts in another shift, 1 for 32. His figures. He bowls out, and at the end of 14, it's 134 for 3. Six overs to go then. Think of it as a kind of final power play, even though it's not really a power play per se, but it's the same length of time. Sometimes I think of it this way. Got the first 6, got the last 6, and then you got the middle overs. Middle overs done, and we go into the last 6. Hashu is going to come on. He's got a bit of speed about him. Niaz, I think for him it's time to hit the go button here. Still got Kell, still got Harrington, still got, Ekrami. You got guys that can hit 6s. And if they come out with 2, 3, 4 overs to go, they'll be fine. First one gets up a bit negotiated for a single. All right, here's the contest. Hashu trying to blast past Saber Zakil, a.k.a. Insana. Rough translation, insane. But in a good way. Let's see what happens. Takes it on, gets beaten for pace. Seeing this again, we slowed down at Hashu's action before. Some of the batters, they get thrown by it. But let's have a look. How slow can we get this? But there's no real obvious straightening there. I don't think there's any issue with the action. It's just, it's got a slight natural bend all the way through. Rolling cutter. Good one, actually. But I think that's why, almost every batter that's faced him the first time has kind of done a double take and said, whoa, whoa. But if you actually look at his action, his arm stays that angle. So it's definitely legal. Gets this one through. Zakil struggling to deal with it at the moment. Zakil almost just needs to get one away here. And he'll be a different kind of player. Yeah, Steve talking about, throwing the ball into the turf to rough the ball up. And again, take your point there. But again, that's something that you do over kind of 40 overs, or in a test or a first class game over kind of 80 overs or 70, 50, 60, 70. But these, all you're going to do, if you try those tactics here, especially on a ground like this, you're just going to screw the ball up for yourself. But you're right. That's beautifully timed. I'll only get him a single. End of the 15th over. Hashu bowls a good one. Only goes for 3 runs, and the score 137 for 3. Reminder that we've got cricket in Romania as well. And right now, in the first half of match 2 there between the Warriors and the Eagles, Rico Fu and Phil G doing a sensational job so far. And here's the thing. Once we're finished, there'll be plenty of cricket to switch on to over there, as they have 5 matches and plenty to keep you interested in your Sunday afternoon. Warriors, big day for them. They play 4 times. Remember, each team plays 9 matches. And then there's a one-off final on Wednesday night. Back here in Belgium. Fascinating final taking place. Well, I think Niaz now knows, okay, worst case, get out the way, but really look to score. Look to make an impact here. Nippo comes back with his left arm spin. Niaz, next best thing to hitting the boundary, hit the one. Now, this will be interesting. Zakil facing up to Nippo. Nippo needs to get wide. Don't get too straight to Sabah Zakil. Oh. Well, very fortunate to survive there. Did go straight, actually, and rather than a full-fledged kind of slap shot, which I would have expected from Sabah, he just leading edges it over Nippo's head. Nippo can't believe it. Yes, once again gives the strike back to Sabah. Zakil, this is pretty hard. Fielding's been solid from Portugal all the way through this series. Not the easiest field necessarily. They've got down, they've shown how to do it. All week we've seen a variety of fielding, but Portugal, they're a good example. Some of the development teams, I know, for example, the Belgian, the Swiss women's sides, we saw a lot of kind of going with the foot. I think if they're watching this is a good team to watch about how to be professional in the field and what you need to work towards. Zakil is going to go. It's a kind of a half-hearted standing sweep, and Nippo will get a big wicket there. That's a big moment for Portugal because Zakil, he is a guy that can kind of hit 50, 60 from this point, but he won't. And it's a tough 9-ball knock for Insana as he'll have to go. It's 142 for 4. See, kind of end of the bat. Simple catch out there. Sabah was quietened and then he was removed here in the Mdina Cup final. Disappointing for him. Hashu with the catch. It's 142 for 4. Credit to Nippo there. He slid it on. He's saying, look, he never spun it at all. He kind of put pace on to me. It's right down the bottom of the bat. I'm actually surprised it carried that far to Hashu. Omid Kell comes out at number 6. He's been up and down the order. Saw him opening a fair bit. Hello to Charles as well, tuning in from the USA. Niaz. Set batter here, but not quite run a ball pace from Burhan. Can he go up a notch? 16 overs down, 142 for 4. Hashu to bowl again. And Burhan has put him over the ropes. Maximo. Speaking of ropes, he got a good excuse there for dropping that one as he gets caught up in the rope. That's exactly what Burhan will be hoping to do. Maximo to start this 17th over. It's not that Burhan can't do it. He certainly can. Yeah, clever to blame the rope. All right, rolling cutter this time. Could be big trouble. Niaz gone. Hashu with the wicket. 6 and out for Burhan Niaz. Nateem Hassam takes the catch out of deep mid-wicket. Well judged once again. Go Belgium. Again, fits and starts here. Certainly testing Portugal. That one flips the lead again. 148 for 5. Very nice take out there as well. So Niaz, it's one of those innings, once again, seems to go from kind of first gear to fifth gear, doesn't it? In the end, he goes 35 off 36. 148 for 5. Clever change up there from Hashu. Rolled his fingers down the right-hand side of the ball. Took a little bit of speed off it. I think he picks it, Niaz. Just still doesn't hit it in the middle of the bat. Harrington gets a hit. Just under 4 overs to go. Harrington guides away. Single to get him going. Owen Kell still hasn't faced a ball. He'll be up on the rack for the first time. There's that rolling cutter, but this time gets his hand caught in the hook cookie jar and it goes all the way. Maximal! Very good start for Owen Kell. A different situation for him because he knows time to hit the go button straight away. Sees it, backs himself. It'll skip step, elevates it up and over the ropes. Funny, the expected score spent a fair bit of time in the 180s in this innings, and that's still kind of what the computer's predicting here. Again, could be time to try and find another replacement ball. Well, we know, I think now it's going to be more than has been chased in the whole series. Remember, Portugal in match 3, they did chase 163. They did that with 8 balls to spare. Good to see Adnan's got another job after trying to fix up stumps after they got blown over for most of the week when he was on the field. Umpires have done a good job, though. We'll say that. Had to work pretty hard as well. Vinay Malhotra, Vishal Ramteki, Abdul Rahman. Moise, Ali Said as well out there. Come back from Hashu. Portugal still got their spirits up here. Actually, look at the highest score of the series was Belgium yesterday, 177 they scored against Malta. Looking to get more than that here. Last ball the over. Not going anywhere. And so Hashu will go for 14 in the over, including a couple of large ones, and the score 156 for 5. Three overs remaining. Hashu still has an over up his sleeve. Yes, he's got 2, but he won't get 2. It's going to be Nippo to come back. Bowl out. Kell tries to take it on, but he'll find the fielder. Portugal are going to have to bat well no matter what. Have a look at those percentages. Right in the balance. Big swing. Don't think the foot ever leaves the crease. It just shows you the difference. You know, one individual effort, especially early in the innings, Raza just completely, I suppose, neutralised a lot of the Portuguese aura with his 50. Funny one, that one. Was that a bump ball? I want to have a look at this one maybe from side on. I'd be curious. How slow have we got that? I think it's actually a catch. Right off the bottom of the bat. Now Harrington takes out the long handle and he will get the result. Maximal. Handy runs. Ollie having to go a bit earlier. Earlier in his innings, that is. You can see he actually has that big high grip, doesn't he? It's a lot of bat speed through that ball, a lot of power. Now I think he'll be gone. So it'll be a 6 and out. Nippo will get his revenge. But I like the aggression from Harrington. Again, looking to go down the ground and target that straight boundary. Lightning reflexes once again by Nunez, who had the bails off in a flash. 163 for 6. But you think you take the trade-off 6 and wicket at this stage. Kind of knew he didn't get to length, so that's where he loses his shape. See this one maybe from side on. How much was he gone by? Enough. Pretty comfortable in the end. But yeah, Harrington does get one out of the screws. We'll take it. I suppose there, if you had your time again, probably still try and hit it with more or less a straight bat rather than trying to get the mid-wicket hoik. But that all came to the fact he didn't quite get to the pitch of the ball. Amadi comes out. Last ball, the 18th. Might as well have a swing at it. Shouldn't run out of wickets here. They've still got batting to come. Nippo, 2 for 37. Last ball for him. Nippo is one of the more animated characters that you'll ever see. He's going to need to be assisted to his feet, perhaps. End of the 18th over, 163 for 6. He's cut off the stumps and knocked over by the brute force of the almost wicket is Siraj Nippo. Fitty game, 163 for 6. Oh, we've got International Cricket Council in the chat. Nice to see you taking an interest. Let's engage. Okay. Hashu to bowl the 19th. False shot, hangs up in the air. Simple catch. So Kel's going to go. And they could still bowl him out here. Portugal, I mean, they do catch very well. Kel doing the right thing, trying to get on with it. Skews it up in the air. Daval Noritam takes the catch. It's 163 for 7. Hello to Pinky. Nice to see you as well. Welcome to the final. Mohamed Kel goes. He's out for 8 and 11 balls remaining, 163 for 7. And they've already got up to what they scored last time against Portugal. Well, not last time, first time actually that they played Portugal. That was on Thursday night. I don't know how relevant it is, but it's the first time these two teams have played in the morning. Both their games have been late afternoon games so far. Ikrami, not a bad guy to come out at number 9. Left-hander as well. That could be out as well. Hanging up in the air. Another one. So Hashi's on a hat-trick. Ikrami goes first ball. Martin's with the catch. And Hashu will have 3 for 17. Might not even need to go to the last. But they do have Shantu available to bowl it. The catch so good. Now we had to blur it out so that you don't get too excited. Jeremy Martins will take it. And it's 163 for 8. Oh, good to see a bit of movement in the chat. Always entertains me. We've got the International Cricket Council in right now, as I said. But also Finlay's Chickens. Hello to you. Hello also to Dave B's popped in. Big Boss News. Hello, Big Boss. I won't take your name, but I'll say your name. Here we go. 10 balls to go. Hat-trick ball. Zaki. 4 for and 4 for with the ball. Zaki Shah, including against Portugal last night. That's in the air as well. Another one. Hashu with the 4 for now. And they're down to their last wicket. It has been the classic late innings collapse, hasn't it, from Belgium. Seem to have so many resources, but not a lot going on here. I mean, that's now 4 wickets for 0 that they've lost in the last 6 balls. So kind of a combined quadruple wicket maiden across the 18th and 19th. Jackie Shah joins the queue of ducks. It's 163 for 9. They were 130 for 2. And then in the next almost 6 overs, we've seen 7 wickets lost for 33. That's a pretty dramatic collapse. And they looked on for kind of 180s for sure. Gankel comes out. You got to be smart here. Don't think you can be that crazy unless it's really asking to be hit. You take a runner ball from here because you're in the kind of middle zone with this total already. Portugal just want to end it. Smart keeps it out. Amadi will get the strike. What a good over from Hashu. You don't expect it, but it's a triple wicket maiden in the 19th. And it's 163 for 9. Crazy kind of turnaround here. They're 106 in the first 10. And now they're 57 in the next 10. Next 9, I suppose, 10th to come. But it was 134 for 2 after the first ball of the 14th over. That means in the next 4.5 overs, they've lost 7 for 29. And Shantu comes back. Belgium just fading away. Still, we'll say it's more or less a par score. For me, the par's around 170. 175 maybe. But it's just been a funny one to judge because quite often we've had teams not batting up to par in the first innings and getting bowled out. I wonder if this can be called no ball for too many outside the circle. It had to be. Well, there we go. There's a break. especially with 9 down. Free hit's worth so much more because you can really attack it. Every other ball, you're extra careful because you know a wicket ends the innings. But here we go with the freebie. Can Amadi cash it in? Oh, he gets a good piece of it, actually. And he will get 6. Well, that error comes back to bite Maximo. Really costly because I don't think there's any way Khalid is being, I suppose, aggressive in advance to this ball if he knows that a wicket's ending the innings. 170's up now. We will need to see the biggest chase of the week if Portugal are going to win this. Well, maybe we'll be aggressive anyway because Amadi's lifted this one up and out of the ground. Maximo. Probably feels like he's playing with the house's money now. Khalid Amadi. Shantu, he's been kind of lit up a little bit despite the 1 wicket. He's gone for 47 now. The pendulum swings once again. Good shot, though, in Amadi. Not really known for his batting, but he's a good athlete, natural cricketer. Oh, a miss, but he survives it. Get another go. 3 more goes, in fact, potentially. Check out those percentages, people. 50-50 in the final. What more do you want? There's a little nick on that, and they will be bowled out. With 2 balls left on the table, still they'll take it. They get 13 off that last over, albeit an unfinished one. Shantu with another 2 wickets. So he took at least 2 wickets in every single game that he bowled in this series. But yes, first I went for 7. Second went for 5. His third went for 22. And his fourth went for 13, being only a 4-ball over. And Portugal, well, they've taken 10 wickets against Belgium now every time they've played them. In fact, the only time they haven't taken 10 wickets, Portugal, was against Malta yesterday when Malta lost 7 on the way to 133. So it's quite amazing. They've taken 47 wickets in this 5-match series in the T20 format. Let's roll back and have a look. Portugal electing to bowl. You can understand that. They've won twice on the chase against Belgium with the Mdina Cup on the line. Munib. Didn't last too long again. Nice catch taken down there despite a couple of nice shots to get him going. Berhanias came out. That was one that he nailed, but did find it a bit hard to find his feet in this innings. But it was all about Ali Raza early on. He really laid the foundation. It meant that Belgium were always going to make at least a decent score, a defendable score. He scored 64 of 24 with 5 sixes and 7 fours in his innings. He really just kind of found himself in the zone. That was the end of him, though. Hassam catching him a metre inside the boundary of the bowling of Faf Stoneman. He was frustrated because he felt 100 or more was on. And it just did kind of slow things down a little bit. This was a nice little bottom corner finish from Niaz, but boundaries were rare for him. Scored 2 sixes and a 4 in his 36 balls at the crease. 35 was his final score. Sherry Butt just seemed to be getting going. Hit a couple of sixes in his 21 before he was caught on the boundary by Jeremy Martin's low full toss from Henry that he just couldn't get under. Insana, unfortunately for him, couldn't get going. 4 off 9 was Quieten, and kind of standing sweep off the toe was the end of him. Omid Kel with 1-6. Harrington with 1-6, but Portugal then basically turned it on, this kind of 7 for 29 run. Nippo was fired up as ever, wasn't he? It was the end of Omid Kel. then they found themselves 9 down. There was this triple wicket maiden in the 19th over. Rahul Kumar Hashu absolutely blitzing it. But then there was one kind of last stand, wasn't there? And it was Amadi who went back-to-back Maximos, catching in the free hit after the fielding indiscretion to start the 20th over. He would nick off with 2 balls to go. And I would say a very par total for Portugal to chase here. Belgium bowled out for 176 with 2 balls remaining in the 20th over. Raza at the top, leading from the front. About time he clicked, really, for Belgium. 64, the top score of the innings. 35 for Niaz, who kind of played more of a support role through those middle overs. 21 for Sherry Butt. Munib, 15 at the top. Khalid Amadi with a couple of sixes in the 20th over, just to take them from that 160s into 170s. Honestly, this game for me, it's too close to call. Don't forget, these two, they're only 2 spots apart in the rankings. They started the week only 1 spot apart. 4 for 17 for Hashu, including that triple wicket maiden in the 19th over, which really put the brakes on. Shantu with 2 wickets, but the most expensive outing of his series, 2 for 47. Nippo, probably likewise 2 wickets, but a few more than he wanted to concede. 2 for 37 for him. Stoneman with a wicket, Henry with a wicket in there. Hassam, just that first over strategically at Munib before he was given a breather for the rest of the innings. We'll take a break then. Last innings of the Mdina Cup coming up, of course. In the break, if you want, you can turn over to the other stream. The ECS Romania is up and going. We've got about a 15-minute break here before we'll be back with the chase. Portugal, 177 to win the Mdina Cup. Or can Belgium get the wood on Portugal and steal the silverware? I'm Vinny Sander here, Mr. Maximo for ECN. Hope you're enjoying your Sunday. We'll see you after the break. The exciting conclusion in Belgium of the ECN Mdina Cup T20I. This European cricket event is proudly brought to you by HCL Software, Rado and 1xBet. Hello and welcome back. Time for business and time for the exciting conclusion of this Mdina Cup with the men's final between Portugal and Belgium. And this game is right in the balance, can tell you that, with Belgium batting first, getting sent in. 176, they scored a fair 20 overs or best effort. They were actually bowled out with 2 balls to go, so Portugal coming out to chase 177 for victory. And Belgium, well, they'll at least know they've scored more in this game than they have in either of the two against Portugal so far. It was only one off the top score of the series when they scored 177 against Malta in match number 4. So basically what is being said is that Portugal need to equal or better the highest score we've seen in the series if they are to win this. Now, having said that, Portugal were on track for a few more than this a couple of times, actually, when they've been on the chase. But, of course, because they chased the target, they didn't get the benefit of facing the whole 20 overs. Vinny Sounder here, Mr. Maximo, with you. I'm double screening like so many of you are as well. Watching a bit of a thriller in Romania as well. A controversy over there. Contentious bump ball / non-bump ball, which I think they got right. Great to see play underway there in Waravasia. But yeah, it is going to be a pretty exciting game. You can just tell. Portugal 56%. I think they were probably slightly behind if they'd given 10 to 15 more runs. But it's very much up for grabs here. Akrami to bowl, left arm orthodox. Interesting. Both teams left out potential spin options. Sherman Vaz for Portugal and Tapley, other left arm spinner, another left arm spinner for Belgium. But anyway, Gomes, I think he hasn't really done, has made a big score against Belgium. Here we go, 177 to win. Hits the first one, finds the fielder. Zaki Shah has had a brilliant couple of games since he's come into the side. 4 wickets and 4 wickets. He'll be a factor. He's getting the ball to move around a bit yesterday. Oh no, well, it's up in the air and it's gone. A second baller for Gomes. Akrami is going to take the big wicket and a very important early strike for Belgium. Portugal lose their first wicket before a run's on the board. Let's check it out in the replay. Just top edging the sweep, and it was kind of there for it. It was that little angle across, and he gets it to drift away from Gomes. Ali Raza wasn't going to miss it. That will be a big confidence booster. We'll say it, Gomes doesn't waste too much time ball-wise, but he'll be disappointed to go for a duck in the final. 0 for 1. So it comes from outside leg and starts to swing. Look at it swing on Gomes, and that's why it hits the outside / top edge of the bat. And Ali Raza is quick to find the drop zone. The Chad coming out at number 3, Potkita. Overstimulated at the moment. It's also a really good game. Low scoring thriller in the ECN Romania. All right, the Chad coming out in the very first over. Effectively, he's opening. Wow, you believe it. Knocked over. And Chad is history. And it's none for 2 now. Akrami on a hat trick in the first over. Unbelievable start this from Belgium. Again, it's just rapid, isn't it? Goes straight through the gate, goes straight through the Chad, and it's none for two. Unbelievable start. It's the shortest possible stay for Chad Potgieter. Check it out again. Again, no, it just comes in and it might have taken a little bit of the back leg on the way through. Crashes into the off stump. Belgium. Start of their dreams. Jeremy Martins comes out though. I will say still two very, very dangerous players out there for Portugal with plenty of time to bat. You could easily have had these two opening together. But Ekrami, first things first, he's on a hat trick. Martins in his brief innings yesterday, he wasn't really able to find the pace of this pitch. Popped up quite a few. Didn't see Jeremy opening day in the lineup. Oh, first one. It's away from everybody. Waiting the umpire. Don't think there was an edge on this. Big, big responsibility for these two. You can see. Was a deflection off something? It was off the bat, actually. A little touch. Not really a chance for Ali Raza behind the stumps. But you can see with Ekrami, he gets the seam going. So it's basically in-swingers to the right-hander. Noritam. Oh, Belgium. This is such a great start. Portugal have gone from ahead to behind in the space of 3 minutes of play. What a first over from Ekrami. Masterclass. First over there from the left arm spinner. And it's 1 for 2 after 1. I did say at the start of the day, it would be very Belgium to turn around and to pinch the trophy here after Portugal have clearly been the best side over the first 2 days. Plenty of cricket still to play. Need a partnership here. Obviously don't want to fall too far behind either and have to be chasing kind of double digits and over through the last few. Can't really call that a missed opportunity from the keeper. When you look at the size of the deflection, it goes around Ali Raza, who's less than a metre behind the bat. And at that pace, absolutely no chance that you're holding it. Kankel, it's been good in the series. An emerging star in the Belgian setup. Martins, its first one go through harmlessly. Let's see if Martins can settle in here. He just hasn't had too much time at the crease at all. Oh no, that's popped up as well, up in the air. Oh, how did that not go to hand? Huge flashpoint here. Again, Jeremy's never quite dealt with this surface. In the short times we've seen him, he turns the face on this, closes it, pops up, and I thought straight away, it's curtains. It didn't carry to Sherry Butt. It was herring in from cover. Kanka willing the ball to go to his fielder. Grabs it back. Can't believe it. They know Martins is a huge fish in this lineup. Want to get him before he can hatch. Angled away, but no run. Cankel. 3-dot balls to get him going. Bites back significantly this time. What a start. It's been a game of twos and fros. Everything you'd want out of a classic final really so far. Cream actually has to go to play some cricket. Well, I'll catch up later. Wow, that one's hit straight. It's miles in the air, but it's going to carry the short boundary. Martins does get his first Maximo. Can that be the one that gets Jeremy started? Even with that, though, I think it pops on him a bit. He still gets enough of it to get it out of the ground. Martins can get in. He's the kind of guy that can make a big score. Noritum, let's not forget him at the other end. Only faced 2 balls so far, but he was in sparkling form last night. Still trying to find his feet here. Into the second over. 7 for 2. Good over there by Cankel. Just went for that 6. No other run in the over. I suppose the thing with Jeremy here, I'd be trying not necessarily to go over the top, because when you're doing that, by definition, you're hitting the ball a little bit earlier. And then if you're then further early, you're just going to pop it up. And you cannot really afford to be out in the next 3-4 overs. Portugal, best team through the first 2 days, but both teams have the right to fight for the trophy here. Akrami comes back for another over. What a first over it was from him. Oh, another false shot. Akrami, he's just so slippery. He has the ability to take it away from the right-hander, but most of the time he's just curving it in at speed. Ooh, probably gets outside the line here, does Martins. I don't mind that strategy. I know it looks risky, but as long as he gets his pad outside the line, I think this is a scoring opportunity. Because as long as you get a good stride in, you're unlikely to be hit in line and have the ball going on and hit the stumps. So Martins trying to get innovative, using all that cricket IQ that he has. Noritum tries to take it on and get this one through the field. So his first boundary. Counter-attack coming already from Portugal. Still plenty of time. Still a very good chance, but 2 key batters gone already. Noritum has to kind of continue to play his natural game and try not to be worried about the 2 wickets. Easier said than done, though, because normally he's He's got that insurance of the batting below him. He doesn't have as much of that this time around, but still, I still think he just needs to play his natural game here. Worked for him last night, batted very well. Backs away, hits over the top. Nice shot. Just pitches inside and runs away for 4. Ekrami has to come off his cloud in that second over, and the score is 17 for 2 after 3. So well played by Noritam. And look, with Chad going first ball, that's disappointing for sure. I suppose you can look at it another way. I mean, Martins could have easily batted 3. So if that was the case, imagine they're 1 down. Would that change your opinion? Maybe slightly. Real good cricket match in play. Good question from Monty about Malta and what their thoughts are. I think they probably just wanted to be left alone at the end of the tournament. But, you know, I think it'll just take a bit of time to sink in. And I think the other thing with Malta is that you have to be conscious of the fact they are in the 70s playing 2 teams in the 40s. Well bowled this one by Kankel. Gets it to shape in, seam away from Martins. Get this shape. It's a good young bowler, isn't he? Good seam position. One big question I would have, I wonder where the Mdina Cup will be next year. If Portugal win it, can Portugal host it? There's a question for you. Be back in Malta. Another one from Hankel. Whistles past the edge. Portugal have a real testing mini session here. Pulled away. That'll be 4. It was just a fraction too short that time from Kankel. Martins cashes it in. Longer Martins stays, the better he'll get. I'm sure about that. Can't really practice for different conditions. And the thing with Jeremy, like most of the Portuguese side actually, he plays pretty much all his club cricket on turf. And most of the Belgians, they're very accustomed to the artificial surface. And I will say, once you get used to the artificial, it's a lot easier than turf because the bounce is a lot more consistent. On the front foot defends that. It's been a bit of an issue sometimes when he has committed forward and the ball's kind of stopped on him, and that's when he's kind of popped the ball up. That's the thing. If the surface is holding up a bit more than you expect, you've got to be careful over-committing forward. You kind of got nowhere to go then. Hey Monty, I think your comment's fair, saying you didn't think Malta played their best despite the gap between them and the opposition. And I would agree with that. I would agree with that. And they would know that as well. I was wondering, you know, what is the answer in Malta? I mean, would they benefit from a kind of, sometimes I think maybe they should have some sort of 3-team Super League that they can organise there. I mean, they can play all the way around the year. If I was in charge, which probably luckily I'm not, as we hit the end of the 4th over, and it's 21 for 2. And look, everywhere's different. I've worked in so many countries across Europe and seen the setup close up in Europe. But one thing Malta could do, I mean, they do have the whole country in a small space compared to a Germany or a Spain or even a Sweden. or a Portugal even. And what I would do is probably have some sort of, you call it what you like, but maybe like a Super League or a Premier League that maybe you organize matches around international fixtures when you're looking to select your national team, and you get 2 or 3 very strong teams. A bit like you saw Corey doing with Spain recently. You know, he did it with 2 teams, but have 2 or 3 teams that are all players in the national setup. Because that's something that I think a lot of people have had their eyebrows raised with some of the selections we've seen from Malta over the last 12 months, including the ECC. So the best way to do it, okay, they've got a lot of clubs there now, which is good. I'm glad they've got a lot of clubs. Hit straight and hit cleanly. Hamadi comes on, gets hit straight back over his head. Maximo Noritam is a guy that we've seen score heavy runs on this pitch in the last 24 hours. Very clean strike there, Hamadi. Back to the drawing board for him. Yeah, so for Malta, I would try and have a semi-regular competition there, in addition to the league system and league competition, where they've got about 15 clubs now. But then there's too big of a gap from club cricket into... Oh, in the air. Zaki not able to get in time. It's too much of a gap in Malta between the club cricket and the international cricket they're playing. That's in a nutshell, that's their issue. So if you could then have 2, 3 or 4 club competition, and then the elite players are playing in that, those that are really in the frame, however you organise it. That's the missing link. Nicked, and he gets away with it, flies away for 4. Marty almost pulls out his magnificent hair. That one flies away from Ali Raza. Yeah, so give us your thoughts. I mean, I know you guys follow Malta cricket as well, but I think what I see with the Malta side is some of them are in some, I suppose, bad habits that you can get away with at domestic level, but you can't necessarily get away with at international level. So you need more practice at international level or close to. Oh, lucky one once again. Well, he's using the whole of the bat. Is Noritam. This one flies away off the inside edge down to a fine leg for 4 more. Yes, that's my honest assessment of Malta. Is to create a 2, 3 or 4 team competition, or at least play some matches which are kind of national selection matches, even if they're just national selection matches, but run them properly. So don't make them feel like a practice session. Make them feel like a match. Have proper umpires and everything. Have, I don't know, something on the line. And then you are playing a higher standard more regularly, and particularly before teams are selected. Because then you can say, hey, he was selected because he made runs here in this higher standard competition, rather than just going on feel or some other criteria. Marty goes for 16 in the over, but still looking dangerous. A bit unlucky. A couple off the edge. End of the 5th over. It's 37 for 2. This is what's happening right now in Romania, although I do think we've just seen... Well, that's not Romania. In fact, that's England. Thank you very much. This is what's coming up tomorrow. Didn't look quite right. Yeah, so we're actually 24 hours away, probably 22 hours away from a start in Hornchurch with Tina Goff and Nish over there. Nishay Bhatt, as Hornchurch will play for the first time in match 4. They play back-to-back on day 1. You can see that starts a little bit later in the day, so 8:45 a.m. GMT, which is 10:45 in Central Europe. It's 2:15 in India. And that's the thing. Kind of threw me, because not often we have 2 fully fledged European cricket series going side by side, but because of the weather issues in Romania, that's what's happening for the next 3 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Mighty Tigers, the Sharks, Mark or London. The structure there, you see they're Group A matches, because there's 2 groups of 5 teams. Each team will play their opponents twice and then goes to a quarterfinals. Struck pretty well. Well fielded though. Grami. Start from him. They did take him off though after a couple of overs, keeping him up their sleeve. Yeah, so Group A, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Group B, Friday, and then next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Quarterfinals on Thursday, second Thursday, finals day, second Friday. And the Saturdays are ECSW, 3 teams. What a ball from Zaki Shah. I mean, this is a guy coming off back-to-back forfeits yesterday. Didn't even feature on day one. Martins has been lucky not to nick off yet. He's played and missed it quite a few. That's a seed, though. Just climbs over the bails. I think Jeremy was a little bit worried that the next sound he was going to hear was ball on stump. But he survives. Again, that tennis ball-y bounce. You can see the body language there. All right. Again, pops on Martins high. Going a long way into the air, falling into open space, and it plonks 2 meters from the boundary. Martins again. This is what it says. He's got to be a little bit worried about going over the top because he seems to be early on everything. And so it goes even higher. He's already kind of through his swing. That's why if you're early, it goes up. Just fortunate there was no outfielder in that part of the ground. Still are in the power play. Slow ball from Zaki. He's got a genuine inning, a genuine outie, and a genuine change of pace. Very clever. Another swing and a miss. Just can't time Zaki up at the moment. He must feel very, very confident. Yeah, I know Wayne saying the team that the Malta sent to ECC, saying it was their second 11. Yeah, but it wasn't selected as their second 11. And they sent what they thought was their first 11. You can argue about giving opportunities and this and that, but I mean, the team you put out there is your team. And they've got to stand behind it. Malta didn't pick up a point in that ECC last year. That's why they're down in Challenger Division this year. Into the 6-over power play in Portugal. 42 for 2. Contrast that with the power play in the first innings. Belgium 69 for 1. Got off to a flyer thanks to Ali Raza. Yeah, the Malta thing, just to finish on it, it's kind of the same issue that England have had historically with their first-class structure. 17 teams going into the test team versus, say, Australia. 6 teams going into the test team. Dilution of talent at that second level. Hey, Grami's back. It's interesting that they spelled him for 1 over and they brought Amadi on. Now, Amadi went for runs, but to be honest, I don't think that they were really his fault. Thin outside edge, thin inside edge for 4 amongst it. Was a solid strike in there as well. Late cut this time from Noritam. It'll test the fielder. And there's the rare foot fielding. We haven't seen too much of it in this series. I actually think the hands would have been better as well because then you don't run into the structure a meter over the boundary. Portuguese side kind of stabilising in the 30%ers at the moment. I'd love to see a close-up of Ekrami bowling this. He's not spinning, not trying to spin the ball. He just has this in-swing seam position. Have a look at it. It's hard to pick up from our cameras, but it's not spinning it. It comes out, seam up. Show that one again then. The next one. Worked away for a single. No ball called. I wonder what that was for. It was a bit too quick for me to catch. Unless it was called by the standing umpire. I'm guessing that's a front foot no ball. A free hit. Chance for Martins. Again, mistimes this. That sums it up. Won't be out. Jeremy, that probably just adds to his frustration. That was his one chance to hit with immunity. Still couldn't time it up. Doesn't get away from Ali Raza this time. Get one here. Ekrami. Yeah, tough task to deal with so far for the Portuguese bat. 7 overs down, and the score is 48 for 2. Portugal certainly underdogs, but certainly not out of the game here. How will they manage their bowlers as well? That's the question. Sticking with Shah. Martin's frustrated here as well. It's 15 off 20. Just cannot seem to get his touch. And it really does show you that it's a small margin of error you have. We're talking fraction of a second. Big in swinger this time. He's got the genuine outie and the genuine innies. Had the ball on the string in this series, actually. Frustration once again, I think, for Martins. He won't want to throw his wicket away. He knows the longer he bats, the better he should get. But he also knows he doesn't want to have that rate creep up too much further. Almost hits a return catch. Spicy one down the ground. A lot of chat around there. Belgium trying to beat Portugal for the first time in the series and do it in the final. Noritam, again, probably hasn't gone quite as quickly as he would have liked so far. Now lifted up over the leg side, and that's a pressure reliever for Jeremy Martins. Maximal finishes the 8th over as well, 57 for 2. It's got that one fraction short. It's something he could work with. Slams it up and out of the ground. Well struck. Portugal hanging around high 30s now. Hanging in the balance. Different feel about this game. Plenty on the line as well. Zakil hasn't had a ball in a while, actually. Trying to find the right combination of bowlers to talk about the importance of managing your bowlers in a sensible way. Martins taking on Sabazakil here. And sneaks past the stumps for a single. Now that rate required, it's around 10 and over required at the moment. Not an easy task. Not really something we've seen very often in the series. Portugal have gone at that kind of rate though. Normally on the chase. Normally when, I suppose, the game was in hand. Nicked, and that'll be the end of Noritam. Zakil with a big wicket in Sana, sending the Belgian supporters insane with that big wicket. It nipped back off the pitch towards Noritam, high off the bat, maybe even the glove, and it carries comfortably to Ali Raza behind the stumps. We'll see it one more time. Came back, I think, yeah, just kind of guided off the edge of the splice of the bat, and Sabers away. Belgium believing once again, had to wait a while for the third, but eventually it comes. Noritam out for 33. So top three back in the shed now. And it's 59 for 3. Frustration there for Noritam. He's a crasher and a basher, so he won't appreciate getting out, just trying to run the ball down to third. Having said that, you have to be honest and say that he got a bit lucky with some edges that flew either side of the keeper, or that one went straight into the breadbasket of Ali Raza. Hassam comes in now. And that's the thing with Hassam as well. Doesn't really have the time here to start too slowly. I know he's played a support role at times in the series, but you really do want to keep that rate around about the 10 and over. That means you need 10 and over to sustain that. Hassam, busy, gets across and whips it away to get off the mark. Zakil, mercurial player. Like I said, he hasn't bowled too much in the second half of this tournament. He comes on, they trust him. Of course, he's had to recover from that quite nasty shoulder injury. It looks like he's made a full recovery. Makes me happy to see him out there doing what he loves. Martins will get 4 here. Just guides it, times it. Ravi, he's got the long sleeves, long trousers on today. Not the short sleeves, short pants from yesterday. Into the over, 64 for 3, Martins. Bit of class about him. Ravs, could see him there. Blue Crew working very hard, as always. Still hanging around the mid-30s. Batting to come, though. And there is batting to come. Nunes listed to bat next. And you've got Hashu. Stoneman. These guys can bat. But they're going to have to do it against a very skillful Belgian attack. Got the tails up at the moment. This is what tests you in cricket, though. This is where you find out what you're made of, especially in a final. Hassam plays it late. Knocks it down for a single. And yeah, I suppose in a way, all the T20Is are equal in the eyes of the ranking gods and the ranking points. But there is something about playing in a final and winning a final. And that's what you go there to do. Belgium are playing at home, but the other touring teams spending time away from their base. And you want to have that winning moment with your teammates. Even though Portugal, they could argue, even if they lose this final, in fact, they win 2 out of their 3 with Belgium. They beat Malta twice. Could argue, ranking-wise, it's a success. But you come here to win. You come here to win the Mdina Cup. Off the pad, and squeeze away. How far? Far enough. 4-leg bias. Take it. Very hard to get that 10 and over without some sort of boundary. They get one there. Bad ball. Bad ball from Zaki. And that will go. We'll have to go to VAR, but it has been helped on its way. And Maximo just catches up with this one. Kicks a 4, hits a 6. Let's have a look at it. Help me out, Alex. Just missing. I think we rock and roll that past the post. It's just missing. It's been a fun game we've played, hasn't it? See, it's behind the post. Yeah, definitely behind the post. No goal. But yes, 6. Waiting for one of the big, maybe one of the big Swiss banks to come on and offer some big cash for some targets around the ground. Very successful promotion in the 90s in Australia in the domestic one-dayers. Jump cut there. Harrington does the fielding. End of the 10th. They'll need to go 100 in the last 10 of the series, but it's all to play for. Portugal creep their way back into the Goldilocks zone. And the score 76 for 3 after 10. Reminder. You can get us on social media as well. And of course, Romania happening now. And we're underway with match 3 as well. Gladiators out there for the first time. Yeah, it's been a pretty dramatic start to this 10 overs as well. Go back and have a look. As Gomes, he went without scoring. Rudek Rami getting him to play a false sweep shot there. And then the Chad went second ball in succession. Golden for Potkita. Then Martin's pretty lucky. It's a little pop-up edge, but away from the keeper. And again, just looking like he can't quite find the pace of this pitch. Noritam certainly broke out at times. That one was pulled away nicely. Noritam got lucky a couple of times with his edges, didn't he? Kind of One little inside edge, one little outside edge. Martin's got that one up and away. I suppose he's still there. Noritam isn't. As he went in that ninth over sub, Zakil coming on and getting that wicket. And Zaki Shah, after 4-leg buys, was able to put one just around the post for 6. So 12 coming off the 10th overs. That's where we sit after 10 overs. But it's all to play for. 10 overs will decide this. All right, Chris has told me there's a good game between the West Coast Eagles and Geelong. So, Chris, I'm going to ask you no spoilers because I will watch it then. If you said it's a good game, so please, and thank you. I do have a bit of time off now, but I've done some really long days with the 3-game days. Of course, I will be lurking. I'll be watching Romania at the same time this afternoon. But, yeah, I won't be on the mic now for, I think, a week, actually. I'll be doing some T20s in Czechia next Sunday. Anyway, Zakil's back, 11th over. Martins. Pushes, gets a run. Hassam, real opportunity for him. He has had a bit more time at the crease in the series. Fielded once again. Only get a single. Zakil. Disappointed that he couldn't make a contribution with the bat, but he's trying to make a contribution with the ball anyway. Oh, it's terrible ball. Could be a no-y, actually. It looked pretty high to me. It's popped over the fence. Maximo. I'd say this one side on. Yeah, I don't think it's been called. And Jeremy's saying, hey, what are you talking about? Let's have a look at it. May get a freeze on this one. Is it above waist? Let's have a look. And that, to me, is high. I suppose this is the ICC interpretation saying, hey, it would have hit you in the waist. So we're not giving it. As it was, times it up. I would have been filthy if I was caught off that, though. Still, Maximo to the total. Follows up with a single. Good partnership. You can see him home here at Portugal. And look at them. They're right back now. 49%. The thrills continue. Ball by ball, it's getting adjusted. 47 after the single. Gets past Zakil. Lucky one for Martins. Could have gone anywhere. Chops into the ground over his stump. Zakil concedes 10. That's going right at the moment. After 11 overs, Portugal 86 for 3. 9 overs to go, potentially. In this Mdina Cup. What an exciting few days it's been. Remember, we started with the first ever Women's Mdina Cup. Really happy to see that. With Belgium and Switzerland tangling. Switzerland, their first ever T20 IWs, and they won all 4. A learning curve for Belgium, no doubt. There's Malta. They'll be disappointed that they didn't manage to make the final, didn't manage to get a win. They learn a lot out of this. I'm sure they do. But also, I think that's how you get better, playing teams that are playing a level above, and you can actually see, okay, this is where we want to get to. You can imitate. Marty coming on from the bottom end now. Fraction short, put away in front of square, finds the gap. Hassam with a welcome boundary. It's very difficult to get that 10, 11 and over without a boundary somewhere in the over. If you don't get that many, that rate's only going to go up from here. Comeback ball for the smiling assassin. It's that slower ball. Hasn't used it too much. It's interesting for me that in the T20 game, because I suppose wickets are worth a bit more in T20, I think he uses it sparingly because he really wants for it to potentially be a wicket ball. Holds it kind of between his thumb and his forefinger, same arm speed. It's a very good slower ball. So I think it's all to do with the fact, in T10, he wants you to play a guessing game, and he knows you're not too worried about getting out, so he's playing a bit of a guessing game. You're kind of 50-50 every time he bowls, what's it going to be? Whereas what he's trying to do in the longer format, funny we call T20 the longer format, but it is, that he's trying to set you up so that you are expecting one thing, and he's going to give you another. So it's not really a 50-50. He's actually getting the ball to swing on his stop ball as well, and I think he's actually gone up a yard in pace in general. Good observations here as well. The run rate required has stayed in the 10s for a while, and the longer it can stay there, so long as Portugal aren't losing any more wickets, they'll feel quite confident that they can achieve that. Oh, genuine edge, flirts with it, gets 4. Martins plays away from his body. The ball probably would have been a wide, you know, but he invites a bit of trouble. But in the end, stays out of it. 4 runs to the total. That's luck fact. That's all you can call it. It's the end of the 12th over. 96 for 3. Portugal with that 4. Go ahead in the game. 52% now. Don't we love the supercomputer as well? It's a very good way to kind of just reinforce that you got a game in the balance. So 10 runs off that over. Remember, there were 10 runs off the over before. That's why it's staying in the 10s. That's what they're getting at the moment. 2 boundaries, a wide and a 1 in that over of Khalid Amadi. Wide down leg side. They'll get a couple of runs for free here. I think he overbalances out of his crease. I think it was a stumping attempt. Stumping opportunity. Akrami led a match under this innings with back-to-back wickets in the first over. Oh, big appeal, huge appeal, and it will be the end of Martins. Frustrating end Inside and will tell the story here. Tried to play that little lap sweep. And just when Portugal had crept ahead in the game, he's going to go. Look at where the contact here. Trying it. Yeah, where does that hit? Glove up, then a bit of shoulder. Yeah, as I thought. Definitely shoulder, but you could see it came up off the glove first up. Thought maybe it was at forearm under shoulder, but it's pretty clear on the replay. Martin's out for 42. We'll get some 40 close-up, but still plenty of work to do. And a real test for Portugal here. 98 for 4. Ekrami once again with the big wicket. Ali Raza makes no mistake. There, that first touch, glove, or maybe even the kind of the wristband, but it's not skin, is it, the first time? That means that's the end of Martins. Portugal slipped just behind, but Carlos Nunes comes out and tell you what, he was very composed when we saw him finishing off the game on Thursday night. Ekrami. 5 balls to go. Swear, I mean, imagine if you had Tapliel as an option as well. Could they fit him into the side at all? In the end, they prefer Zaki Shah. Probably fair enough. Took back-to-back 4 wickets. Tapliel, another left-arm spin option. First one goes straight through Nunes. I wonder if that was the one that did actually turn a bit. It's hard to see from behind. No, that was just your genuine seam upper. Carlos off the mark. Assam now becomes, I suppose, the more seasoned partner as far as this game's gone. Nunes, we saw him manage the chase very well in the late stages the other night. Hundreds up for Portugal. Seem to have that little fear of success, don't they? Every time they get ahead in the game, they find a way to shoot themselves in the foot. One curves in nicely. And Ekrami, a real difference maker in this final. He finishes with figures of 3 for 21, but he is bowled out, and Portugal 101 for 4 after 13 overs. Key partnership, this one, isn't it? I mean, they all are for Portugal. I suppose you flip what I said a moment ago. The other way, Belgium, every time they fall behind, they find a way to get back in front. Hashu listed next. Nippo listed after him. Stoneman, Juan Henry at number 10, and Shantu at 11. Cankel comes back. Hasn't he been just a natural fit in this Belgian bowling lineup? Still young. I think he's only got 20 years of age. But I like his variations. Just very accurate as well. Seems to know what he's doing with the ball. Hassam run a ball more or less. Goes back and punches here. Once again, will only get one. Look at that rate. We're out of the 10s into the 11s now. Only 5 runs from the Akrami over in the 13th. We had back-to-back 10s before that. Kunkel hasn't conceded a boundary either. Just 2 runs off the first half of this over. Tuck away, but again, only a single. And Carlos, I think he'll play pretty risk-averse unless a ball's begging to be hit to or over the boundary. But he also will have kind of something in mind, a moment where he thinks, okay, I need to kind of go looking for boundaries. Basically looking for at least that 1 boundary and over. Probably 2 boundaries and over, you get the 11. You scramble the rest. A couple of singles, maybe a wide. It's a positive move from Hassam. Kind of shortening the pitch there, but then he's just feeling at it. I don't think they can let this drift a lot further, if I'm completely honest. See there, early step and clever adjustment from Kunkel, pulls it back in length. Wasn't there for a comfortable drive. Good looking drive, finds that sweeper, feels well set at the moment. Another good over this one for Belgium. Only 4 singles off it, so only 9 in the last 2 overs combined. And Portugal fading, 105 for 4 after 14. Who's going to stand up? You can see, never actually been on top of the rate, but they have been rate adjacent for a while. But holding their own, that wicket, you can see the rate's just taken a bit of a dip. Those wickets for Belgium at the end look like an arrow towards the end of the innings. Six overs to decide it. Backheel glanced away. Beautiful shot. That'll be 4. Hassam uses the pace. Does tie the ball really well. No straight deliveries. And there's one of the boundaries you need. Rate's gone up to 2 a ball now. 2 a ball's kind of my red line, where I'm saying I really don't want it to go out any further. Now you need 2 boundaries and over, I think, to stay at that rate. Nice cut this time. Actually gets through the field. That's a costly misfield. And I think it's gone for a goal. Well, boundary check and VAR check, please. But back-to-back boundaries. We should have been handled. Yeah. Give us a rock and roll on that one, Alex, when you can. I think it was inside the post. Yeah. Confirmed. Clear goal. What's the score? Forgotten now. Might be 2-2. So they were 105 at the start of the over, and 12 and over gets them home. So 117 is where you'd want to be. Nunes forces off the back foot this time and hits it very well. Another boundary. There's the 3rd boundary in the over. Just what the doctor ordered. And Portugal growing again. Just pure timing from Carlos. Hasn't he been an influential player? Loved his keeping. I've loved his leadership this week. It's very assured. Now slashes away. There's open spaces down here. Now the long chase. Successful chase. We get 2. Throw sails on Ali Raza. Helix saying it might come down to the 1%ers here. It's a term saying the little things. Bites back, 1 run, says Nunes. He'll retain the strike. Still in that Goldilocks zone. 3 boundary over. Keeps Portugal in the contest. 121 for 4 after 5. Just a reminder what's happening in Romania right now with match 3 underway between Phoenix and the Bucharest Gladiators. Gladiators, former champions of the European Cricket Series, playing their first game of the day. So after this is finished, you can tune in. You probably catch the second half of that. And then still 2 more matches to go. Rico Full and Phil G on the ground there. Slightly drier ground than it was a week ago in Romania. And you can catch that every day, of course, to start your day. Starts a couple of hours before London. Hornchurch starting a little bit later. And 10 matches across 2 locations for the next 3 days in European cricket. All right. Here's Amadi. Starts with a wide. Yeah, Helix saying if it's tied at the end of the football match. Do we go to penalties? I guess we'll have to. How's that going to work? Or you make one player from each team bat together until one of them hits a goal. Well, bowled. That stock out swing is still going for Amadi. I've enjoyed the VAR though. It's not so always easy to tell because the goals are on funny angles. Sometimes it's an easy one to tell. And also the goals, for example, in Sweden, they were further away, so the ball wasn't traveling as fast when it got to the goal. It's a slower ball, but he misses. Bowler misses the mark as well. 1 run to the total and re-bowled. And now you reassess. Okay, you need 11 and over or so. Started the over, they were 130, 121. They want to be 132 at the end of this. Now Marty puts pace back on, swings it away. This time Nunes misses out. Very good game. Remember, it's not just the cup, but also these two are so close in rankings. Portugal 43, Belgium 45, and they both have aspirations of getting up into the 30s. I'm sure about that. Oh, he's given him. Oh. Honestly, I don't know if this is doing enough. We'll see it on the replay. I think it's a bit of a fortunate one for Belgium. We'll see it. See how slow we can get this as well. But it looks, it was heading down the leg side. It does swing back a bit, but is it enough? No. That's a really rough one. You can see all 3 stumps there. Well, Nunes, he won't like that replay. He'll be aggrieved. And look, let's be fair to the umpire, only gets 1 look at it. Maybe we can see it normal speed. See what the umpire sees. Nunes adjudged LBW for 11, 123 for 5. It's the Lou Bega. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think Carlos wants to jive. That's what the umpire sees. But I saw all 3 stumps on impact, and that told me that it's not going to come back and hit him. And yes, it's shaping back a bit. Umpire gives it straight away. Carlos can't believe it again. He wouldn't know exactly where he was, but that's a very, very rough decision for the Portuguese captain. No 2 bones about it. It leaves it to Hashu. Comes out at number 7. And you don't want to hang on the umpires either. I mean, they've done a good job. It's been a long week for them. Hashu gets off the mark. Rate it to a ball as he enters the fray. But yeah, my reaction, there's certain unconscious cues that you then become conscious of. One of them is, what are you seeing when the ball hits the pad? You see all 3 stumps. Just think you can't be certain it's going to come back and hit him. Well, this one's a funny one. Actually argue it's It's a different kind of ball because this one isn't swinging down the line. Let's just do the same here. This one, if anything, tails in. I actually argue that's closer, although I do still think it was just sneaking past the leg stump. Split the chat, though. Talking points. Umpire, remember, doesn't get the replays. Has to make the decision straight away. And what it has done, it's put Belgium in a very good position now to take the trophy. End of the 16th over, 125 for 5. Big finish coming up. Four overs. That's all we've got left. And after 5 days of cricket, 2 days of the women's, 3 days of the men's. I love this. It has split the chat, though. I will say that. It has split the chat. It may have come back and hit the wicket. I just don't think it's 3 reds for me. I don't think it is. There's doubt for me. But again, you can have your own opinion. All right, so Hassam, he's going to unload leg side, but he's going to be caught. What a bit of cricket. What a bit of cricket. Ekrami out there. Is that the death blow to this Belgian innings? What a catch. And a Zaki Shah that comes on. He's had the golden arm in this series. Hassam gets robbed of a Maximo. And it's 6 down now for Portugal, 125 for 6. Would have gone the journey. Ekrami didn't want to take his chances jumping. So he kind of goes 1 foot, 1 hand and sticks it. What a piece of work. Hassam, can't believe it. We've seen some amazing catches in this Mdina Cup. That was the equal of any, really. Hassam has to go for 28, 125 for 6. Maybe we can look at it one more time. That was an unbelievable catch. Clever strategy is where he knows if he jumps, it'll be a slightly easier catch, but it won't be easy to land. And the Belgians, well, rightly so, they are thrilled about it. All right, Henry actually gets the nod at number 8. Interesting, they have batted him ahead of Stoneman. They've batted him ahead of Nippo, who is also listed higher. And Luke, he's spot on. Huge moment in the game. There's no doubting that one. Portugal can't sit in their hands here. I think Hasha knows it. Swing and a miss. Managed their bowlers pretty well. Only Ekrami's bowled out. Zaki Shah will be bowled out after this over. But you've still got an over of Kankel, one from Amadi and one from Sabazak Hill. Goes after it, Hashu. Flies away, another wicket. And so Belgium, they're going to lose now. It's Harrington that takes the catch. And Zaki Shah's 10th wicket of the series. Quite an incredible effort from the Belgian right armour. Didn't even play the first day. But now he gets Hashu trying to force the issue, popping up a catch to the infield. Lost his shape, then lost his contact point there. Harrington swallows the chance. And chances fading for the Portuguese, despite being unbeaten to this point in the Mdina Cup. They are 126 for 7 in the final, still requiring a further 51. Harrington, we saw him shell one yesterday, but he's a pretty good fielder. Zaki likes what he sees. Belgium springing their step. Stoneman can bat. And we've seen him batting high for Portugal in, I suppose, a different time. Big test for him here. Can someone play a cameo innings for Portugal, almost like a Sabazak Hill did the other night, to lift them up to this score of 177? Still time, but 15 and over required when you consider that there's recognised bowlers to bowl out. It's going to be tough. First one bites into Stoneman. Make by. Now you need kind of 2 boundaries and over minimum, probably 3. Yeah, that LBW was a flashpoint, wasn't it? To remove Núñez. Right off the end of the bat. That'll be the end of the over. 128 for 7. It'd have to be something remarkable from Portugal from here. They're on a bit of a run there, but that wicket of Núñez then just kind of set off a chain of events. They lost a wicket 4 balls later and then 3 balls after that. So they lost 3 for 3 in 8 balls in that little period where the game was in the balance. Amadi. It's driven along the ground, and that will be 4. They just kicked on rolling from Henry. Mentioned they did bat him up above a couple. Can bat, though. Hasn't had to in this series so far. You got guys batting that haven't had a hit in this entire Mdina Cup over the first 4 games. I said you need 3 boundaries and over. There's one of them. There's the slower ball. Thought it might come out from Amadi. Wasn't going to let him settle. Puts it in his head as well. All right, just so you know, I've got this. There it is again. See, it rolls out between the thumb and the forefinger. Could come back. Now, Henry doesn't really know what he's timing up. Bowled him. And really now, I think Belgium, they can start to enjoy it. They can smell the sweet scent of success, and that Mdina Cup around the corner. Portugal undefeated through the first 2 days of the series, but they look to be going down in flames here. The smiling assassin knocks over the timber, and it's 132 for 8. And he set that up as well with that slower ball the ball before. Just throws the batter off speed. And Belgium, well, they've saved their best for last, haven't they? Nippo gets a hit at 10. And that rate has crept out of control as well. 3 a ball needed from here. Disappointing for Portugal. If you consider their 3-match kind of mini-series with Belgium as its own entity, they'll win the series 2-1. A bit like they did against Norway, but they do drop a game. Belgium, well, they'll feel they've clawed something back. And they will be presented with the Mdina Cup. That's another one. Hippo goes first ball, and could Amadi finish it with a hat-trick? It'll be the perfect ending. This series has been amazing. If they propose it to you as a work of fiction, you'd think it wasn't realistic enough. It wasn't believable enough, but you better believe it, Belgian fans. Certainly worth getting up on a Sunday morning, because they are on their way. And again, late tail, tough one for the number 10 to get first up. Portugal down to their last wicket, 132 for 9. Hats off to Belgium, really. They found their mojo when they needed it. And Ali Raza, for me, he's the player of the match, no matter what happens, because I think he set this up in the first period and set Belgium on their way. Late movement off stump has crashed, and well, he's on a pure hat trick as well. Amadi, he goes bold and bold. Ikrami was on one earlier in the first. Amadi on one in what might be the last. Shantu, the number 11 hat trick ball, and it is a hat trick. It is the perfect finish for Belgium. A hat trick to close out. The smiling assassin is smiling. Belgium is smiling. And they have won the Mdina Cup in the most spectacular of circumstances. A pure hat trick. 3 bold dismissals on the spin to finish off Portugal, to finish off what's been a sensational week of T20 international cricket. The final score in the final, Belgium 176, Portugal 132. All 20 wickets fall in the final. Who said it's a batter's game? Despite that, over 300 runs as well, though. Yet Belgium win by 44 runs. And maybe we'll get a chance to see that hat-trick ball. What a way for Amadi to finish things off. Again, it's full, it's straight. He has that control. And there might have been some debate about an earlier dismissal, but there's no debate about the last 3. And Belgium, best feeling in cricket. Kind of combined feeling with 3 wickets in 3 balls, and the third one being the death blow. And Belgium win the Mdina Cup here in 2025. Who knows where it'll be next year? I think the Mdina Cup's been a great tournament that's come out of kind of humble beginnings as a kind of secondary tournament to the Valletta Cup in Malta, but the fact that then it's moved after the 2023 edition to France and now to Belgium. I just think it's been a great addition to the European cricket calendar. And at Belgium, they certainly know they didn't play a perfect tournament, but really they saved their best for the end. They will walk away with the Mdina Cup. Disappointment for Portugal, of course, who win 4 of their 5 games, but they walk away in second place in the tournament. But that's the way cricket is sometimes, not always fair. You can't argue that in that game, particularly that last innings, Belgium did what they had to do. They did it up front with Ikrami. I mean, he's another player of the match candidate, actually. But really, they can raffle it. I think Ali Raza set it up. Ikrami knocked him down. And then, Khalid Amadi, maybe he's a player of the match because he finishes going 1, 2, 3, and the celebrations have begun on home soil for Team Belgium. Don't forget, Romania continuing as well as we speak. Let's go back and have a look at this because Ikrami got that big wicket of Gomes without scoring. And then the Chad, he came, he conquered, but he left too soon. Gone for a golden duck in the final. He wasn't the only one for Portugal. Ikrami just getting the ball to shape in prodigiously. Martins, again, never found his feet on this surface in the entire tournament. Norotam, again, kind of felt the weight and the responsibility, I think. A bit more than usual with those wickets that had been lost. Got streaky at times. Martins did get that one out and over the rope. There'd be some key moments in this innings. Norotam, who certainly was a potential match winner, he went to Zakhil. Hassam came out, had to get on with it a bit more. Jeremy again got that one over his square leg. But then things would take a bit of a turn. And this is where it kind of started. Martins gloving one onto his shoulder. Ali Raza taking the catch. Hassam, again, he took up the mantle, didn't he? Carlos, captain, that was the only boundary he would strike. But this was a big moment. I still think it's a very unlucky one for the Portuguese skipper. And it set off this chain of events where they lost 3 wickets for 3, including that in 8 balls. And then talk about your game breaker. mean, maybe that will swing the player of the match towards Ekrami for that one-handed catch on the boundary. Saved 6 runs as well. Hashu went soon after, and really, Belgium had everything running their way. The cricket gods were smiling on the men in black and red. And then, what a curtain call it would be as Amadi went not once, not twice, but you guessed it, thrice. And that was it. A hat-trick to finish things off. Belgium win the Mdina Cup, and a hat-trick, a T20 international hat-trick to the smiling assassin, Khalid Amadi. Those celebrations were only just getting started. The ground invasion was on. The end of 5 days of T20 international action in Belgium, and it is the hosts that do the job, and that means that Mdina Cup men's trophy at least will be held in Belgium in 2025. Already, the campaign started in the chat. Let's bring it back to Belgium next year. We want the Mdina Cup again. Well, time will tell, I suppose. Martin's with 40. Again, never quite found his feet. Never quite able to bat with fluency in this tournament. 33 for Noritam before he was caught behind. 28 for Hassam. Then it fell away. No less than 4 ducks, 3 of them golden in the innings. Belgium, like Vanessa Williams, saved their best for last. Bowling-wise, what a good performance. Amadi finishes 4 for 34, including a hat-trick to finish proceedings for Ekrami. For me, still had to be the best of the bowlers. I just think that he was good up front. He was even good when they brought him back. 3 for 21, including those key wickets. 2 of the top 3 gone in the first 3 balls. Zakir with a pretty handy one. 1 for 33. And Zaki Shah, 10 wickets in the series, playing only 3 matches. Quite amazing. And Kanko didn't do too much wrong either. Didn't take a wicket, but only went for 14 at less than 5 and over. Zakil and Kanko not required to come back to bowl their 4th because the innings was over in the 18th. Well, before I go, I want to say a big thanks to everyone in the chat for your entertainment, to all the players as well, to all the organisers as well for what's been a really wonderful time in Belgium. I've really enjoyed calling some T20 cricket, which I haven't had the chance to do for a while, and it's a little bit different. It's a little bit of a little bit more of a pedestrian pace at times, but there's no doubting when the action comes, it comes thick and fast. I want to thank our crew from 2 Circles who've been absolutely brilliant as well behind the scenes, making sure that everything's running smoothly. All our blue crew as well, umpires, everyone that's ferried the blue crew around. You know, it's a high pressure environment doing cricket at this level, but I think the results speak for themselves, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. I'll be having a bit of a break from commentary this week, but I will be back for more T20Is next Sunday in Czechia, as the Central Europe Cup, the CE Cup, will be happening with both men's and women's matches, 3 days of men's, 3 days of women's, and then the ECI women's before we head into the European Cricket Series in Prague. Stay tuned though, plenty of cricket coming your way. Still today in Romania, we are actually exactly halfway through the day there, halfway through the Phoenix versus Gladiators game, with Phoenix chasing 127 for victory there. That'll get going in around about 5 or 10 minutes time. And then still 2 matches to go in Romania. Don't forget, tomorrow we have getting underway as well. So there's so much cricket coming your way. In fact, it'll be a smorgasbord of T10. And for those of you that have been missing the T10, I think with Hornchurch getting underway tomorrow, you see the fixtures there, starting a little bit later. That's 8:45 a.m. GMT, 10:45 in Central Europe, 2:15 in India. It's 2.5 hours after the start of Romania. If you've been missing your ECS T10, well, don't worry, you can play some catch-up because we have 5 games in each of those 2 locations coming your way. 3 days of pretty much 10 matches a day of T10, so you can enjoy that. Well, we're going to leave you now with some of the highlights of the final, and it was a brilliant final just for the Portuguese. I mean, they'll feel aggrieved that their only loss was in the final, but you can't take anything away from Belgium. They were just better today and won the key moments in the game. It's Vinny Sandhu here, Mr. Maximo, on behalf of the European Cricket Network and the European Cricket family. I'll speak to you in about a week on the microphone. Until then, I'll be lurking, I'll be watching, just like you will be as the cricket is back, and it's back with a bang. Here's the best bits of the Mdina Cup final, and we'll catch you soon for more cricket right here on ECN. For me, it's hasta pronto.
Move my body.